Hey guys, this is DFS Chan on November 27th. I'm here to talk about today's three-game EPL slate, soccer slate. As you can see, it's a smaller slate compared to the previous week. So this video is going to be much shorter than the last one. But yeah, so let's dive in. And it's a three-game slate and, with one big favorite in Liverpool. So I'll dive into that matchup first. But here's an overview of the three games at 10 o'clock Eastern Time that will kick off. As you know, the starters will come out at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, which is in about 30 minutes, and I will share my thoughts and key players that are benched or are starting, pending any injury news or anything like that. So because as soccer, as you guys know, if you have been playing DFS soccer, um, starter confirmation comes out an hour before the kickoff, and it's critical to see if your players are starting or not, because it really matters in soccer. All right, Liverpool versus Southampton. So Liverpool is the biggest favorite. That's the first matchup I'll dive into. And then Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Crystal Palace is a slight favorite in that matchup, but pretty much just toss up. But Crystal Palace is at home, so I think that's why they're the favorite. And then Norwich City and Wolverhampton. Norwich City has been probably one of the worst teams in the EPL so far. So yeah, Wolves are a favorite on the road. So let's dive in. Liverpool versus Southampton. Liverpool obviously has been playing, probably one of the best football soccers in the EPL so far. They've been in really good form. As you see, they're third in the standings, and Southampton is in the middle of the pack. So they don't want to get relegated to the bottom three. So I think they're going to show up, but I think Liverpool's talent will be too much. They look really good during the week in the Champions League game, but they also looked really good in the previous weeks, as you can see here. Their previous matches have been really, really good, other than that West Ham United match where they stumbled a little bit, and their offenses has been really good, but their defense has been a little suspect at times. But on the other side of the matchup, Southampton has been decent. I mean, they have been really good on defense. I don't think they're going to give up more than 3 or 4 goals, in my opinion. I think some other soccer experts are saying that Liverpool is just going to thrash them, but I don't think that will happen. I think Southampton has been pretty good on defense. So I think they'll probably give up 2 or 3 goals, but I don't know about that, more than that. So on Liverpool's side, the key players are obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold. He takes most of the set pieces. I think half of the corner kicks, monopoly on the set pieces. But he is also really good in the open play. He likes to go up and down on the right flank and cross the ball, along with the other side of the fullback. Andrew Robertson or Tsimikas if he starts. Robertson just came back and played partial minutes in the Champions League game during the week. So I think he's going to get a start here if he's fit. And he's obviously, he has a, good upside too, crossing the ball quite a bit. So Liverpool, you have to start with their fullback considerations. And then obviously Mo Salah, he's been playing lights out. He's been scoring and assisting on a lot of the goals. So I think he's definitely worth a consideration. But I don't know. I mean, his price tag is really high. Just given I think it's 11.7. So if you are building an optimal lineup, I mean, you will need to have him score 2 goals or more, or 1 goal and 1 assist, and then some peripheral points. So I think, I don't know if I will have him in the optimal cash lineup or something like that. But in GPPs, I mean, his ceiling is really high. Sky's the limit. So we'll see how that goes. But then you can also pivot if you think Liverpool is going to score 2-3 goals and Salah's not going to score out 2-3 goals. I mean, it could, but the probability is that one of these two strikers will score 2, Mane or Jota. I think Firmino's still injured, so I think Jota is going to get the start here unless Minamino starts for Liverpool. But I think Jota is going to start. He's been injured a little bit, but I think he's still going to get the start. Mane has been pretty good as well. Not as good as form as a Salah has been in, but Mane has been pretty good. And then in the midfield, it's kind of a toss-up, but I like Thiago the best. He's been a little more aggressive and getting involved on the offensive side, shooting the ball, creating chances compared to, like, let's say Fabinho or Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson has some ceiling and higher upside too, but I like Thiago, the form that he's in right now. I wouldn't consider any of the center backs, but maybe Van Dijk. Van Dijk on the corners, that he can go up and set pieces, he can head the ball, and he'll participate. But that's the more of a dart GPP throw. But on a 3-game slate, it can happen. So if I had to choose between the two center backs, I would go Van Dijk. And then on the other side of the matchup, Southampton, they're not gonna have the ball as much compared to their previous games. Liverpool loves to possess the ball. They're gonna dominate the possession, keep the ball, amongst their teammates, amongst the players, Liverpool players, maybe like 60% of the times. I mean, that's a lot. So Southampton, even when they have the ball, they're gonna be pressured quite a bit. So I think they're gonna just have to rely on counterattacks, in my opinion. But in doing so, I think obviously James Ward-Prowse, he has a monopoly on set pieces. So I think he will be pretty good, highly owned. But I think against Liverpool, I will probably fade him because he's not going to get as many chances. And then for GPP purposes, Che Adams and Adam Armstrong, and then Nathan Redmond. El Yunusi has been decent. It started off decent the season, but he's kind of been fading, so I don't think I'll go there. And then Livramento is a fullback that you want to target compared to Kyle Walker-Peters. So second matchup of the slate is Norwich City and Wolverhampton. Like I said, Wolverhampton is a slight favorite on the road. The players to focus on here is Riyad Nouri. He's been dominating set pieces, and then he's been going up and down as well. I like him a lot on this slate. His price tag is reasonable too, I think. The fact that he's been racking up some peripheral points a lot, I mean, helps out a lot against, especially against Norwich City, that gives up a lot of peripheral points. I think Norwich City is the second most, gives up the second most crosses and chances created against any team in the EPL. So I like that there. And then if you want to pivot and get cheaper, Nelson Semedo will be an interesting pick, but I still prefer Nouri. And then João Moutinho, sometimes he takes set pieces, but I don't think I'll go there. So if you want to pair up Nouri with maybe Raul Jimenez for GPP, I think that would be a good pick. But the only cash consideration I would have is Nouri and then maybe Semedo. And then Ruben Neves likes to take shots. So, I mean, I think if you have to choose any of the central midfielders here, I think Neves would be my pick. And then Huang, when he's on, I mean, his ceiling is really high, but sometimes he just likes to fade in games. So we'll see what happens. But I think he's the last GPP play that I will consider. And on the other side of the matchup is Norwich City. They've been terrible. As you can see here in the standings, they are the second worst team. They only have 8 points. They have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 8 losses compared to Wolves. They're pretty high up compared to their previous seasons. So the Wolves are playing pretty well. I think they have a good system going here with the new coach. So Norwich City, but yeah, so Norwich City, I mean, they like to play up and down too. That's why they are giving up a lot of points. So I think for DFS purposes, I think they're pretty good as long as they have the ball compared to the other team, which I think, I mean, it's going to be 50-50 possession, I think. It's not like Wolves or Man City or Liverpool. They like to possess the ball. So it's not like, Norwich City will miss out on opportunities like that. So I like Norwich City. Rashika, he takes some set pieces, and he is probably the best player creating chances up here for Norwich City. Pukki obviously likes to score goals. He's a striker, but he doesn't have much of a floor. So I think Rashika would be a better play unless you're playing for GPP and Pukki is in chasing goals. Josh Sargent, he's American, but haven't seen him do well so far in the season. I think he just came back from an injury too. And then in the midfield, I mean, McLean and Gilmore, I mean, they're okay. I think Gilmore I prefer compared to McLean, but I'm not gonna go there, I don't think. And Brandon Williams and Max Aarons, if you think they're gonna go up and down, I mean, they could. But if I have to choose between the two, I would probably choose Max Aarons here. Also, I think they're gonna sit back a little bit because Wolves like to attack from the flank. Ignore if he goes up and down. I think Aarons will have to sit back a little more than usual. So yeah, I mean, not many pieces for Norwich City, as you can see, but it's a 3-game slate, so you kind of have to consider. But Rashika would be one of them, and then for Wolves, I definitely ignore. The last game on the slate is Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. This is an interesting matchup, I think. I know the odds indicate that Crystal Palace is the favorite, but I think Aston Villa could definitely pull it off. I know Aston Villa has been in really bad form, 4 losses in the last 5 games. Crystal Palace has been decent, I mean, but I just cannot trust them, So, but yeah, I'll dive in. And Crystal Palace, the favorite cash play, obviously optimal best play is Conor Gallagher. He does really well, in any play, open play, set pieces. But I think his set piece duties get it's limited if Luka Milivojevic, if he starts. If Luka starts, Gallagher's upside goes down. So I think that'll be an interesting dynamic to see if Luka starts, and then people might fade Gallagher, but that also creates leverage. And I think on a 3-game slate, I think Gallagher is actually one of the best players on this slate. And then Zaha, yeah, I mean, Zaha is a good GPP play, I think. I think Zaha has a somewhat of a good floor as well. And then Edouard and Benteke, I think they are definitely GPP plays, but Edouard has a lot of can cross the ball quite a bit. But Zaha is definitely the preferred play here compared to Edouard or Benteke. Benteke can score goals too. And against Aston Villa, other teams have been scoring a lot of goals. I think, so they give up 1, 4 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals. That's a lot. So that's pretty good. And then Crystal Palace, let's see, Joel Ward and Tyreek Mitchell. I think their fullbacks are okay. They don't like to go up as much as they used to, like in previous seasons, because Gallagher does it, and then Edouard and Zaha does it a lot. So they just like to sit back a little bit more. So I don't think I'll consider any of their fullbacks. So I will just focus on Gallagher, maybe Luka, since his price tag is really low. And then Edouard, Benteke, probably get GPP plays, and Zaha, probably my favorite like pivot GPP play off of Gallagher on this slate for Crystal Palace. And then last team to go over is Aston Villa. Like I said, Aston Villa has been in really terrible form. So I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the starter confirmation. John McGinn and Buendia would probably be the cash options, but Buendia is probably going to be the cash option people will fall onto. I know McGinn used to take a lot of set pieces, and then Buendia kind of has taken over. He's fit and he's a good player. So he's number 10. Yeah, I mean, I like Buendia here to take some set pieces and like to cross the ball. But then Matt Target also likes to also has some set piece duties as well. So I think they're gonna share set pieces here, but Buendia likes to attack the ball and creates more chances. So I don't know if I'll go Matt Target, but we'll see. So I think those 3, Buendia, McGinn, Target would probably be my preferred plays. If you're chasing a goal, obviously Danny Ings would be a play, or Ollie Watkins. So I think Aston Villa can definitely have the upside to break the slate, I think. I know like people will see the records and people will see their points, and then they're gonna fade, but they just beat Brighton 2-0. And I think maybe they're on the they're on the uptick. Like their form is coming back alive, and so I think it'll be interesting to see. But I think that I'm definitely gonna have a lot of Aston Villa pieces for GPP, I think. So that's all I got for you guys today. But like I said, I will look at the starters when they come out at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and then I'll share my thoughts, who's starting and who's not, especially for Liverpool. It'll be interesting. I think they're going to start all the regular starters, but it'll be interesting to monitor the left side fullback, whether Andrew Robertson will start or maybe Tsimikas or Nico Williams. So we'll be, we'll have to keep our eyes out on that. And then who starts as striker and in the midfield. Because I think a lot of people will like to stack Liverpool pieces for the right reasons, because they're the biggest favorite on the slate. But so you'll have to see where they line up on the formation. And then, like I said, for GPP, I think my favorite will be Aston Villa. I know they're the second biggest underdog, but they just beat Brighton. They look pretty good in that last match. So I think that's probably where I'm going to go. All right, well, hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like the video if you can. Subscribe to our channel if you want to. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out on Discord or on Twitter at DFS Channel. Thank you.